This is my English culminating, where I've been assigned the task of relating a story read in class to a major problem in the world. For the story, I've chosen The Wretched and the Beautiful, and the problem I chose was racism, specifically racism towards immigrants and refugees. Now, the story begins when a bunch of aliens crash land on a beach. Everyone initially reacts with fear, but it is shortly followed by very cautious curiosity. When the humans bust open the ship that the aliens came in and gaze in, the aliens are described as having crab-like joints and moving in a way which, quote, resembled ours and differed to such a degree that it sickened us to watch. Now, a phrase that racists sometimes use for immigrants is too different to belong, too familiar to ignore. Several paragraphs later, the aliens are described as wretched creatures by some humans. Now, the very definition of creature is distinct from a human being, meaning that they are already being considered apart from us. Now, racists consider immigrants to be different from them, purely based on the color of their skin and the way they talk, the way they act, their culture, like that kind of stuff. In this case, it's species, but the idea is the same. The paragraph after that is all about the nations of the world sharing the aliens among them, and the manner in which they do so. The decisions about where the aliens go are made by the world leaders, and they decide that it is inverse in proportion to wealth. So basically, the really rich countries get like one alien, and then the really poor countries get like 5. So, first off, they don't care what the poor members of society say, and the poor members don't want the aliens, like there to be a lot of aliens in the poor countries, because the poor countries can barely support themselves, much less a bunch of aliens there. And the aliens themselves, they don't want to be separated, they just want to stay all together. So, another important piece of information within this paragraph is that the aliens are treated as paths to technological and medical advancements. That's it. That is the nicest thing that is said about them in the entire story. Then they're also referred to as a burden purely because they need certain resources of ours to survive. That thing about the poor members of society and the poor countries, that reflects real life. In real life, poor people don't often want immigrants to come to, their country, because if the poor members of society already can't support themselves and new people are coming in that can't support themselves, that means that more people are sharing the money and not enough is getting to each person. Throughout the next couple of paragraphs, people are described as hating the aliens because they need a little bit of our resources to survive. Now, this is a reflection of real life as well, because immigrants and refugees coming in need our resources to survive, and that often pisses off a lot of people, in particular racists. One such part of the story that stuck with me was a moment when a woman accused an alien of eating her cat when the pet was actually just lost and was returned a few days later. Now, I feel like this happened in real... Wasn't there a president of some kind? Oh, I don't know. I feel like there was... The story continues on when some more aliens arrive, but these ones are different. These ones are described as the most gorgeous beings ever seen by the humans. They slowly transform them from their true selves to equally as gorgeous human beings that seem like the best versions of ourselves and speak in enchanting voices. Now, this part of the story is to show the difference in how society reacts to people that look different from us and people that look the same as us. Like, when immigrants come who can't speak, our language or don't look similar, they have different cultures, they're discriminated. But if a group of people that share a similar culture were to come, they would be welcomed. These aliens, the beautiful ones, are welcomed in by humanity, and they explain that the first aliens who came here, the wretched ones, were war criminals. Now, I've heard that term before to describe refugees who've come to escape wars. Now, then in the story, an agreement is made that the beautiful aliens can take the wretched aliens with them and leave Earth. Then the story ends as the beautiful aliens come out of their ships with chains and weapons from, some sci-fi universe. And then it doesn't describe exactly what happens, but, you get the gist. This section about the beautiful aliens coming and getting the wretched aliens is, very comparable to how countries will come in search of war criminals. and try to take them back from whatever country they've moved to. So yeah. In conclusion, this story is an excellent example of how we are racist towards immigrants and refugees, and how we definitely need to find a solution.